Samira! How is it
Hi,
going?
it's going fantastic.
I've not spoken to you for some time. How's it been
Yeah,
since everything has gone back to normal? You've been working all this while, right? You've not been stuck at home like other people or anything, right? Because when was the
well,
last time we chat? Was it a few months ago?
yeah, technically, yes, I have been working, but also at the same time, I've been working from home. So I'm
Mm.
also kind of in jail. And trust me, it's not as fun as it sounds to work from home.
Ah, that's a bit sad. You can just imagine like everyone else in this world has been working from home every
Yeah.
single
I
day.
mean, yeah, I used to dream that this would be like a dream job, work from home, like a flexible
Yeah,
hours.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then
exactly, exactly.
but now I realize no, nope, I'm not going to choose this over, regular timetable because this means you have to work longer hours,
Do
which
you?
obviously you want.
But why do you
Yeah.
have to work longer hours if you're just home? You can just get up anytime you like.
No, it's not like that. So even like recent like studies and people have like done the research on this particular topic. So what happens? First of all, because it's flexible, so you become lazy, right?
Right.
So whenever you're going to work, you have a fixed time. So you get into the office by maybe 8 or 9, and you get out by 4 or 5. But working from home means that you kind of start late if you want to, and then you end up doing it even late, and then yeah, you don't have any more time for going out and doing other stuff.
I
So
mean, you
that's,
have nowhere to go anyway.
yeah, that's kind of true. And the second thing is the worst is the obviously the managers and your supervisors, whenever you're in office, they're around you, so they can visually see that you're working. But
Mm.
if you're working from home, then you kind of in the stress that whether they know you're working, so you have to be all the time, online in front of your computer. And sometimes they would even text you like, hey, can you finish this? And it's almost like 6 o'clock and you're supposed to leave, but then you can't have excuse because you have your laptop in front of you, so you have to kind of say, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that can't be used as an excuse, right? Because you're not actually off
And
work.
the the most disadvantage I have specifically because
Mm.
I never used to cook lunch for my office.
Mm-hmm.
I've been super lazy, so I would always go
Oh,
and
okay.
get some lunch from the cafe, and
Yeah,
then it's done. But
yeah.
now I have to cook, so I have to make something for my lunch, and that sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I know that sucks. I think it's the same for most of the people who used to work in the office and just grab lunch with their friends or something, with their colleagues. I mean, and
Yeah.
it's just going to be really different, right? It was really different, but I think many people have been returning to work now, haven't they? So you are working in Airbus still, am I
No,
right?
Rolls Royce.
Oh, Rolls Royce. Oh, why did I think it was
Yeah.
Airbus?
Because maybe because I used to work, but yeah, I live in Derby. You should know
Uh-huh.
Derby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you compare Derby, like the Derby city, it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like 50% is surrounded by Rolls Royce. So as soon as you get out of the station, you'll be like, oh, that's Rolls Royce. On the left, Rolls Royce. So everything is
Okay.
Rolls Royce. And apparently, most of the households, they have at least one member working for Rolls Royce in their home. So yeah, you
Don't you
should
think
you
they
should
just
remember.
don't you think they just import everyone to move and live there because they work for Rolls Royce?
No, I think it didn't work like that. It I think it's like you when the Rolls Royce was built already here,
Yeah.
and because they hire people from various educational level, so
Uh-huh.
people just so the local people thought it's an opportunity, and then they
Right.
just grabbed it. So you would see people, even like someone working in manufacturing, like hands-on. Some would be like apprenticeship doing. So they are, I would say, spread it in the business, and why not?
Mm.
It's such a big company, so
Mm. Yeah, that's true because I used to work in Intel, and because it's a massive manufacturing company, so they need all kinds of people, don't they? And
yes.
yeah, yeah, it's not just like the managerial or professional unless they spread their campuses across different cities and they focus on different stuff. But since they have everything in Derby, then
Yeah.
everyone is welcome to work for them, I guess.
Yeah.
So how's life in Derby? How have people been behaving since the lockdown has been lifted? When was the lockdown lifted anyway?
Um, if you look at the news,
Mm.
specifically UK, so the UK government, I don't know, was it like a strategy, or they have never been very clear about the
Yeah,
lockdown. So
yeah, I
they
heard
have
of that.
kept it like in a gray area. Even the companies, they're not sure that should you come to work or you shouldn't come to work.
Uh-huh.
So it would be like, oh, you shouldn't go out, but you can sometime go out. And that sometime is a like a loophole. It's like
Right.
a gray area. Then nobody knows. So I would say there hasn't been a time where it was completely under lockdown, because people are still going out. They're going to supermarkets. Yeah, they're doing what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
The only big difference, I would say, is the shopping malls, they were closed, and now gradually they're opening. And yeah, the other day I went to Birmingham, and I just went there, like, I thought, okay, there won't be a lot of people. But as soon as I went inside the mall, the Bullring Birmingham Mall, which is quite big actually, um, you wouldn't believe how many people were there. It was like probably people as many as you would see in Boxing Day. Yeah,
Oh, wow,
yeah,
that's insane.
that's
Like on a
insane.
Boxing Day sale, that's just
Exactly.
mental.
It was mental, and the guards who were
That's
supposed.
recent, right?
Sorry,
That's recent, right?
that's very recent. Maybe 3 weeks ago
Okay.
or 2 weeks ago. Yes,
Was anybody wearing a mask 3 weeks ago?
hardly. And I don't know if you heard it. There is actually anti-mask protest going on
Oh,
in
okay.
US as well as in UK. So those people don't want to wear a mask, and they're like against wearing a mask.
Right.
So I don't want to comment on that. It's political, but
Okay.
yeah, in I would say, even though it has been kind of strictly advised from the government to wear mask,
Mm-hmm.
but weren't wearing mask. I have hardly seen people wearing mask, at least around. I can talk about Derbyshire, around that area.
Mm.
So, but I'm not saying completely that, oh, they haven't where they weren't wearing masks, so they were not careful. They were careful. So the one thing I really liked what UK has taken initiative, and they have followed that in Derbyshire as well. So every time we would go to supermarkets, only one person per family were allowed to get in.
Right.
And whenever you're getting in, you have to maintain at least 6 feet distance from the person next to you or behind
Okay.
you. And so that was a very good thing, that they have
Mm.
kind of controlled the flow, the going in and out of the supermarket. So that
Mm.
was a very good initiative, I would say.
Right. Is that just specifically for supermarkets, or is it applicable for normal shops like curries and like clothing shops as well?
So as I said, the mall was recently opened.
Oh, okay.
So when I said 3 weeks ago, went to Birmingham, that was the first week it was opened, and you could
Right.
see people,
Yeah,
rushing
and
to get
Birmingham is a big city, isn't it? So once everything is open, I think everyone is just craving for.
went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So for that particular incident, they were, I would say, they couldn't maintain that gap, or the protocols.
Yeah.
There's too many people, right? You can't control.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
apart from that, whenever I went to have some takeaway, or I went to a particular shop, yes, they have taken certain, I would say, certain things, like
Mm,
making keeping distance from each other. So you would see signs outside of the restaurant saying, okay,
right.
one at a time, or maximum four people in the shop. So
Uh-huh.
those things were in place. But I have to say, I really have to appreciate the big supermarkets and brands like Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda. They have maintained it so well. So
Mm,
um, until 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, it was one person per household. Now they have
mhm.
allowed two-person per household, but still maintaining the 6 feet distance.
Oh, okay. So they still stick with 6 feet, which is like 2 meters?
Yeah,
Oh, because I thought I've heard of a news saying that they're changing it to 1 meter. Did they not do that?
not that I'm aware of.
Oh, okay. Right. So 6 feet, which is 2 meters distance, and uh, what else? Do you have to check in, or are they using any app nowadays to track where people have been, so that they can contact them whenever there's any case that's arise in that shop? Or do they implement anything like that?
Um, Again, maybe not. I'm not very aware of that, but you could see a very big line outside of the supermarket, which is quite
Right.
obvious.
Yeah, yeah.
You see, like, there are, like, maybe if you go in a rush hour, it will be like 20 people lining up, and again, they have to control
Just get a
how many.
cheap sandwich from Morrison's.
Sorry.
Just get a cheap sandwich from Morrison's.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to get the groceries, the
Yeah.
essential things, and yeah, so it has to be. But good thing is that I think I among other people as well, we all started being good chef, I would say, because you can go out, and then you can't stop, fancying foods, right? So
Yeah, of
if you
course.
eat a
Can't
burger,
do that.
and you can eat a burger from a really nice restaurant, then you
Yeah.
will end up making it for yourself. So that's something happened, and I learned a lot of new,
Yeah,
dishes.
new recipes, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
because I saw your Instagram, which is specifically for food. That is just great.
Yeah, I the other day I was scrolling my phone, and I saw there's so many pictures of food, and I said, okay, I should share them, among my dear friends and family.
Yeah, exactly. I think you should share with them whatever you've cooked as well, so they know your talent.
Yeah, true.
Hmm. So over here, people have been wearing masks quite strictly since the last 4 months, since China broke out with this coronavirus, and then due to that, the cases in Malaysia has been going down really low, and there was some point there was like zero cases until recently, when they accepted people who came back from overseas. They still do accept people coming back from the overseas, because some countries, the situation over there is pretty bad still, and because
Mhm,
it can go worse, so the government says they can come back, but because
mhm,
of that, they are bringing some cases out. They are bringing some abroad overseas cases back home, so the number of cases has been going up again. And now there are still a few SOPs in place, like the mask thing, because people are kind of encouraged to wear a mask. It's not really mandatory, but it is highly encouraged to wear a mask, and the social distancing is only 1 meter distance, if I'm not wrong. So it's not too bad. It's not going to be a really long queue because people don't really stand far away from each other, right? So you can squeeze more people in. But
Yeah.
there's also the app thing that I was asking you about. So if you don't sign in on the register, which you just write your phone number and your name, you can just like check in on your phone. You just scan the QR code. That's the quickest way to kind of check in where you go. It's not really a tracking where you have been, but it's just a way of they can contact you if this area of this shop has been infected or something like that. So recently there have been a lot of changes, and most places are open, like the public places. You can dine in already. You can dine in since early July, but there are only 4 people at the table. So bigger groups, you have to split tables, that sort of thing. And then yeah, you have to sanitize your hands at every shop entry as well. So there's a few things that you have to do before you go into a shop, which is a bit troublesome. Yeah, they would take temperatures, of course. Do they do that in the UK or in Derby at least?
You mean the sanitizers?
No, they use the gun temperature
Oh, no,
thermometer.
I don't think anyone doing that.
Oh, okay.
The only thing they have is they have the sanitizers just in the entrance, but I haven't seen anyone forcing, or like requesting to use the sanitizer. It was like if you want to, you go ahead and use it, which I did every time, but I can't with others. Yeah.
Okay, I see. So it's not really an issue there. You can just like do it if you feel like it.
But I think what I heard from the news, Malaysia, among few other countries who did a very good job in containing this virus. So that's why you can tell that the numbers are so low, and I think people are also more careful, maybe, and the government is
Right.
care of that, taking care of that. But yeah, unfortunately, in UK, so last few days, the numbers went really high. It was going really down, and until like it was 20 people per day, something like that. But
Okay.
last few days, it went up again, and it's now again 700, 800 getting affected every day. So again,
This is the number of infection, not number of death.
the infection, yes.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so that's
700.
what's going on.
But at least it's still safer in Derby, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah, I think doesn't matter where you live, as long as you're safe, or I mean you're keeping yourself safe. Then you are safe. But if you're giving up, because I was just talking to my brother who's here, and he's early in his early teenagehood, so
Okay.
very obvious in his age to get frustrated very quickly, and he
Really?
would say, yeah, of course we were like that, don't deny, you're getting old.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, just imagine yourself in your 18 or 19, that age, then
Okay,
you would
3 years
get
ago. And?
3 years ago. Okay. Talking to a beast from past. Yeah. So when I was talking to him, so I understood his perspective that it's very easy to give up.
Right.
It's like, okay, it's enough. It's enough. We have been at home for 6 months, and I don't care now. I won't die, or this is not going to be like deadly disease for me
Yeah.
because I'm young. So that kind of thoughts, it's very common to appear, and very easy to give up. But I would say, as a responsible person, we shouldn't do that. We should think about ourselves, our family, friends, and everyone. And I think sacrificing few months, a good summer in UK, which is rare, rare, but yeah, sacrificing this will bring many more summer for us. Yeah.
Right. I think the summer has just gone better because nobody goes out or
Yeah.
nobody went out over the past few months.
I wouldn't agree on that. I would say have it, probably not you and me, but a lot of people have. A lot of people have been living like it, nothing happened.
Oh, okay. I think
Yeah,
that's
just
also because,
imagine people are having protests for
yeah, I heard
anti
of that as well, especially in Manchester, right? There was a massive gathering for the Black Lives Matter.
for, well, that's a very different case. So maybe for that cause they have gathered.
Mm.
But I was talking about the protest for anti-mask wearing.
Okay.
That's directly something, right? That
Yeah,
they're just saying that we don't want to wear a mask, and they don't have a scientific, backup or logic for that. Why wouldn't you wear a mask? It's for you. It's not like um, it's a government corruption or anything like that.
yeah.
No, wear a mask and be safe. So no, they have no problem with that too.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like the government is asking you to take off your underwear or
Clothes.
anything, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like take off your clothes and just be naked on the
Yeah,
streets.
exactly. That's just silly. That's just
Yeah,
to protect yourself.
yeah. Maybe,
Okay.
wearing a mask, they might feel they're wearing hijab or like being educated.
That is so unrelated.
Yeah.
I mean, I think those people really can't be in a hospital or be a doctor or a nurse.
Mm, yeah,
I
could
mean,
be.
because it's mandatory for doctors and nurses to wear masks when they are
Yeah, mask.
patients,
True.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If even the government wouldn't ask me to wear a mask, I would still wear a mask
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it
I think many people
it's
have
better,
gone and chose that option.
it's better to be safe, than be
Sorry.
sorry.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? Or sick in hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty interesting news about what's happened in Derby. So I've not heard of any happenings from Manchester and London yet. I might give my few friends a ring and see what's happening with them in different cities. Because
Yes.
in Derby, it sounds like it's still safe and peaceful, although it's close to Birmingham, which
Yeah.
can bring the disease in.
Oh,
Let's hope not.
the closest one we came was Leicester. So
Okay.
Leicester is in complete lockdown, I think, maybe just a few weeks ago, because
Right.
before that they took out, like, everything was open and then people went out and the numbers went so high, just
Mhm.
like within a week. So that was the
Mm.
one thing, which is quite close to Derby anyway. Leicester is not very far from Derby. So
Okay.
that was one of the interesting things.
Right. So how do they manage a total lockdown just for Leicester?
Um, I'm not very sure, but of course, when the news came out that Leicester is under lockdown and this many numbers have gone up,
Mhm.
so obviously the people in the surrounding areas became a little bit precautious, I would say, you know,
Right. Yeah.
um, avoiding going through Leicester and meeting someone from Leicester. So that's something definitely people have done. Hopefully,
Oh, okay.
I have. And other than that, the lockdown for them meant, of course, close down of everything except essential shops. So
Right.
no shopping mall or no other places. So yeah, that's there. And actually, now that I think of about the lockdown, I cannot say that we are the lockdown is over completely for UK, because um, the cinema halls, they are not completely open yet,
Oh, okay.
and the you could see the people are crazy about football, so that hasn't started much. And
Right.
actually, I live very close to the football stadium in
Right.
Derby, so it's like literally maybe 10 minutes walk from my house, and it's
How
quite
many?
big.
Okay.
Yeah,
How many stadiums are there in Derby?
um, this is the biggest one that I know,
Right.
and it's like 10 minutes away from my home. And every other like weekend, I would see like thousands of people walking by my house because
Ah.
they are just returning from the game. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
something definitely not started yet. So, and yeah, and we were looking for options to go for restaurants,
Hmm.
and most of the restaurants, they have said they would open for dining by August. So
Right.
that's still on hold.
Oh, yeah. Because over here, I think People have started dining since early July, and it's safe to do that. But they just kind of like distance the tables quite a bit.
Yeah,
Takeaways have been really successful the past few months because
yeah,
takeaways, even
yeah,
not restaurants, people just cook at home and then sell to other people. Right?
yeah,
Whoever wants to buy, just order from them, and then they just deliver to their homes. So they can use that as an excuse to go out from home, and they can get money as well. So
yeah.
people have been doing that. Yeah, right now the restaurants are open and worship places are open. Some sports competitions can be done as long as they are not the contact ones.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what they mean. I think it's like maybe football is not really contact. It's not like rugby, right, where everyone touches the same ball. So that sort of thing can be done. Uh, can be um, organized already, and yeah, gatherings, weddings can also be done already. So, hello, Rafi.
Hello.
So football stadiums have been opened and competitions can be done, weddings can be organized. So there's a lot of positive changes have been coming our way. But one thing that is still frustrating is we are still not allowed to travel abroad.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, I think because they just want to kind of like keep these safe status of the country in place.
Mhm.
So they don't really want people to be traveling abroad and bring back the disease. Or the borders still not open yet, though. So
Oh
people
no.
can't come for touristic purposes either.
So one of my colleague, he
Hmm.
went on holiday in Spain just last week.
Yeah, that's
From
different. Where's the colleague from?
he's from UK.
Okay, yeah. In the EU, I think they've opened all the borders already.
Yeah,
So you can
yeah.
go to the EU, and EU countries are free to visit each other. I'm not sure about the UK. Is UK still in the EU?
No, the well, I'm not sure. The Brexit is
Yeah,
again. This is something like it
it
happened.
has
It didn't happen.
exactly. It has happened, right? But it's just in
Yeah,
transition
like
until the end of this year.
yeah, yeah. That's true. So it has happened definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So how's the travel restrictions really working in the UK? I heard from my friend a few months ago that the UK did not really close its border. Is that true?
I think so because, as I said, one of my colleague, he went to Spain
Yeah.
to spend his holiday. So that definitely means he can travel, and if he can, the people from the other side can travel back. So yeah,
Uh,
that
but
things
it's
might have opened recently. That's probably a case.
yeah. If your friend has been traveling recently, that means it's a different change, isn't it?
Mm.
A few
Yeah.
months ago was different. It's just I think it's just there's no airlines traveling to or through the UK. Although, yeah, it wasn't on lockdown yet when I was traveling back,
Mhm.
so there were still airlines
Yeah.
traveling until end of March when everyone was like, shut down, and the whole world is just a jungle.
I think they have never shut down the airlines completely, because some of my colleagues here, they came like in a temporary visa for work,
Mm,
and they had to go back once the project is over. So
yeah.
they returned to India, they returned to Spain, and that's very recent. Some of them, they left 2 months ago, and what I heard from them, that there were planes, but it's just a scheduled plane instead of regular planes. So once in a month or twice in a month, there will be a plane from country A to country B.
Oh, okay. Right, because I heard that there's a lot of British people who were stranded in Spain in March.
Okay, maybe after
That
March.
was, yeah. I don't really know what happened back then. Maybe there was no airlines. Yeah, I wonder why there was no airlines flying back from Spain to the UK, and most of the hotels were closed, so they had nowhere to sleep.
Was it during March?
Yes, just when I got back home here.
Oh, that probably could be because that's the timeline when there were, like, Spain was in its most vulnerable position, the worst. So I don't know if you heard or remember that Spain went through a very big, uh, you know, coronavirus effect, and that thing took place around probably that timeline. That sounds like
Right.
that. And it was really, really bad situation, worse than
Okay.
UK. So that's probably could be that they temporarily closed their borders for everyone.
I see. Right, so they really didn't want anyone to go out or leave the country either.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that could have actually happened. Yeah, but for us, we are free to travel interstate, because I had a friend visiting the other day, and it was quite fun to see someone different than the family. Anyway, it's been nice talking to you. It's been quite
Yeah,
long.
it is. It has been. Well, that's
And
nice to talk to you too. And I think we should definitely um, talk about your traveling videos. That's something we can probably
oh
talk next
yes,
time.
oh
Yeah.
yes, because you like travel as well. You have lots of pictures, don't you?
I do. I love traveling, and I regret now, why didn't I, take more pictures, or especially vivid moments. And yeah, definitely we should do that. And I think you're doing a great job. I want to say a few words about your traveling video as well, because even though you're quite new to this, experience and field, but I think you've done a really, really good job.
Oh, thank
And
you.
what I was telling you other day, that what I like about your videos, they are very raw, and like, it's not something you're doing like an acting. You show as it is, and especially the
Yeah,
raw
yeah.
culture. Yeah, the raw culture, or the raw places. That's something very interesting, and I think people who would watch it really like it.
Oh, thanks. Because I didn't really have an intention to kind of film everything that I experienced. It's just I did travel last year. I did travel a few places last year. Once during the Easter break, and once during the summer break. Before I came back to Manchester, before I went back to Manchester, and then I did not. I kind of regret now that I did not take a lot of footages from those places, because I went to a few different countries. So most of them were just photos that I took. And then when I'm back here, just post lockdown, I thought, oh, it could have been a good idea to kind of like capture things that I see and get here back home, so that my friends can see, because I know that some of them might not have the chance to experience, or have or get to see, right, whatever I get here. So yeah, so I thought it could just be a good sharing, and I thought instead of putting on Facebook, why don't I just put on YouTube so that people can actually get to see what I see here as well. So mostly what I want to share is about culture and food and some fun stuff as well. So I'm
Yes.
in the middle of producing this introduction uh, trailer for the channel.
Okay.
So I'll
Definitely.
let you know when it's
Like
ready.
something interesting about you too. Like, your journey from Malaysia to UK, and now you're back to Malaysia. That's something you should share as well. What has inspired you to, do the videos? That's something we would like to hear.
Well, yeah, it's just like because I like cooking. That's the that's the main inspiration for me to kind of like start this YouTube channel. So I thought it would be a good idea because the food in Malaysia is absolutely different than the food in Europe, especially in the UK, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
UK, the food in the UK comes from everywhere. I know we have some similarities in food, Bangladeshi food and Malaysian food,
Yeah.
especially the curries that you made. Oh, you
Yeah.
know what? I made a biryani last week.
Oh, you did. Okay. Where's the picture? You should
Yeah,
send
I
me.
didn't take any picture. There's still some left
Yeah.
over in the Tupperware in the fridge.
Mhm.
but yeah, because of this interest in food, so I thought it could actually be an interesting channel to show the traditional food because I was always craving for food when I'm in the UK. so so I thought it could actually be a nice chance to share the cultural things and food, so that people who want to see can see authentic stuff, not just the things that you can get in big cities. It's
Yeah.
usually different. Yeah, what you get in,
Mhm.
like what you get in London and what you get in Scotland is different, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So different states in Malaysia have got different touch of food as well. And
Mhm.
also because Malaysia has got different, it's got various ethnicities, so the food has got a lot of infusion and different touches of ethnicities in the food also. Yeah, that's about the channel that I'm trying to create.
Yeah. That's great. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward for your next video. Something interesting to see.
I did an experiment on coconut.
Okay.
And you shall wait and see what's gonna happen.
Okay.
And
Yes.
everyone should
Definitely.
watch out for that video. It's really an interesting
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Okay.
Definitely.
Anyway, Samira, it's been long. Catch up. I hope we can catch up again. Thanks for agreeing to this post-lockdown chat video call.
Yeah. Uh,
And yeah, I'll update you whenever I'm back in the UK so we can travel together maybe. It's gonna be.
yes. Definitely. There's something I really want to. Definitely. I'll catch up with you then later. Yeah.
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks for
Okay.
today.
Yeah. Thanks to
Right.
you for.
Speak to you
Uh,
soon.
yeah. Thank you. See
Bye.
you. Bye.